Hello Year 4 and welcome to your next reading lesson. So today we're going to be finishing chapter 1 and reading part of chapter 2, and then we're going to be interviewing a character. So as we're reading this chapter, I want you to be thinking about a character that you're particularly interested in that you would like to do a pretend interview with. So make sure you've got your reading book, a pencil and your writing book, and let's get started. So we're starting on 105. So we've just, so Peleus is about to go and declare his love to Lady Attard, and 10 knights have just approached him. So, and Peleus quickly defeated 8 of them. The other 2 were about to turn and run, but just then, Peleus put up his hands and surrendered. So surrendered means gave up. They dragged him back to the castle, and Sir Peleus smiled secretly, for this is exactly what he wanted. In just a few moments he thought he would see his love again, but the Lady Attard saw him first. "Do not bring him up to me," she cried from an upstairs tower, as the knights approached with their prisoner. "Put him on his horse, with his hands tied behind his back and his feet tied beneath the horse's belly, then send him back outside so that everyone can laugh at him again." When Sirs Brandas and Mador de la Porte saw this latest humiliation, they begged Sir Peleus even more strongly to allow them to regain his honour. "I don't care about my honour," Sir Peleus insisted, for such was the power of the magical collar that Lady Attard wore all the time. So do you remember, she's got that magical necklace, so that means that everybody likes her even more, including Sir Peleus. "Well, what about the honour of King Arthur and his round table?" Peleus' 2 friends tried instead. With a great and terrible voice, Sir Peleus replied, "I do not care about them either." Okay, chapter 2. So this is page 107. While Peleus was often hit this adventure over Queen Guinevere's beauty, another knight was at Camelot, getting on the Queen's nerves. It was Sir Gawain, whom she had long disliked. She had felt this way ever since that day, perhaps, when he had not only refused to help defend her father's kingdom, but had responded so rudely to her request. Many people found him charming, but she found him proud and arrogant, so that means he kind of was a bit stuck up. Her heart had hardened against him, so that means that she didn't like him. One day, one of the Lady Guinevere's favourite dogs jumped on Sir Gawain with its muddy paws. Not knowing she was watching, Sir Gawain hit the ears of the dog. Running up, she demanded to know why he had hit her dog. "Your dog did something to me," Sir Gawain replied, "and when someone does something to me, I fight back." Guinevere drew herself up proudly. "Do you forget to whom you were speaking?" she asked. "How dare you?" Gawain threw himself up just as proudly. "Perhaps you, my lady, do not remember that I am the son of a powerful king, and I dare do whatever I must to defend my rights." All onlookers gasped and looked immediately away. Guinevere stood for a moment, furious, before she spoke again. "Sir Gawain," she finally said, "you are proud and arrogant beyond measure. I am the queen, and this is my court. I command you to be gone and show your face no more until you are ready to apologise to me for the rude way you have always treated me." With that, Guinevere turned and walked back to her chamber. It was her bedroom. Once she was there, however, she wept in secret anger and shame. So wept means to cry. She hated what had just happened, but at the same time she was so proud that she would do the same thing all over again. Upon hearing that his cousin was to leave Camelot, Sir Gawain asked King Arthur's permission to leave the court as well. King Arthur happily agreed, and the 2 knights set off together in search of another great adventure. Monks at an abbey told them about a spot in a meadow where a shield hung upon a sycamore tree. The shield, the monks said, was treated very badly by some ladies. Gawain and Owain thought this very strange, but set off to find the ladies. Sure enough, they found the meadow, the sycamore tree, and the shield. 3 beautiful young ladies were throwing insults, rocks, and mud at the shield. Its owner, a knight wearing all black, sat silently on his horse, saying and doing nothing. Sir Gawain charged at the ladies, shouting at them to get away, flinging one last fistful of mud. They quickly fled. The Ebony Knight, that means the Black Knight, ebony is another word for black, approached and, to Gawain's surprise, asked him why he had interfered. Why? Because they were being disrespectful to what looked to me to be a noble and knightly shield, Gawain exclaimed. It is my shield, the Ebony before Knight said wearily, and I am perfectly able to defend it. Apparently not, Gawain said, challenging the knight. The two men then fought, while all the people in the castle gathered and looked over the walls. Gawain, who had never before been unhorsed by anyone except King Arthur, felt quite confident that he would win the contest. But before he knew it, his spear was broken into many pieces and he was flung out of his saddle. The saddle is what he sits on a horse, landing heavily upon the dusty earth. With his pride injured, which means that he felt a bit embarrassed at being defeated. With his pride injured, Gawain rushed at the Ebony Knight with great fury. The Ebony Knight responded in kind until Sir Owain pushed his horse between the two men and broke them up. For shame, Gawain, he cried, to seek such a fight with a knight who met you in a friendly fashion in a fair contest. Gawain shrugged and put up his sword. The Ebony Knight did the same. With peace thus restored, the Ebony Knight invited Sirs Gawain and Owain back to his home for some refreshments. It turned out to be a rich and royal home, with the Ebony Knight to be Sir Marhaus, the son of the King of Ireland. Gawain was greatly comforted that at least he was defeated at the hands of someone with very great importance. Okay, we're going to stop there today, and you are going to do this activity. So I want you to imagine that you could interview a character from what we've read today. I want you to think about what you would ask them, and I want you to think about what their replies would be. I want you to write your interview with your character. So I want you to set it out so one colour is going to be your questions and one colour will be the answers. I'll see you in the next lesson.